Before we start implementing the decision tree model on our data set, let's quickly review what are decision trees, some of the basics of decision trees. For this lecture, I'll be using these references. There are a lot of other books, so you can use any book for reference on decision trees, any good machine learning book. But I would strongly suggest reading the discussion in this book. There's a very good conceptual discussion on introduction to decision trees. So in simple words, decision trees are just a collection of if-then-else statements. And there are a lot of benefits of decision trees. Machine learning models in general can be quite complex. And the benefit of the decision tree is that it is, you can visualize, you can see the actual tree, as a, as a graphic, and therefore they're more intuitive, and we have an intuitive connection. We know what a tree is, right? So, so there are a lot of other benefits. There, as we'll see, decision trees can help us do feature selection in our model, and it is really good in terms of dealing with all outliers. And if, for example, there is a nonlinear relationship between different variables in your data set, the machine learning, the decision tree algorithm will take care of that. And the decision tree model can be used for classification and regression as well. So we are using it for classification. We are dealing with a binary classification model, where again we are predicting the survival rate of the probability of survival of passengers in the Titanic. So that's a binary classification problem. But when we get into the housing prediction competition, that's a regression problem, as we'll see. So the decision tree algorithm can also be implemented in that case, but it's typically used for classification models. Let's look at a very simple decision tree. Now, this is just a toy model of the Titanic. It's just, it does not represent the actual data, but it's just a toy model to visualize a simple decision tree. So here is, a situation where we start with age. So if the age is less than equal to 10, assuming that every child survived and every female survived. So if the age is less than 10, it's a child, survived, no. And so the next question is whether it's a male or not. So if the passenger is a male, then the passenger died, and if the passenger is a female, the passenger survived. So just a simple scenario time model. So let's define some of the some of the characteristics of a decision tree. So this starting node is called the root node, and so again the terminology are similar to that of a tree. These are, these lines are branches, right? These are branches, and these are the internal nodes. So this is we just have one internal node over here. The internal node is also called a decision node or a split node, because you are splitting on that node. And this is also called the parent node, and these are child nodes. And then these end nodes, the stopping nodes where we stop the tree, are called leaf nodes. So these are just the terminologies you should be familiar with before we get into the decision tree. So in this video, I just wanted to give a basic definition of what a decision tree is. Let's look at an example of the decision tree in the next video.